If you keep your faith in God, work hard, and accept the people that God places in your life to help you get to the next point. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and become content on your journey. This is The Seed, and this is your host, Damian Young.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Hey, as it said, my name's Damian Young, and on the right, I've got Catherine Clark, and we're just here to, man, just talk about a subject called inner healing. We're just going to talk about inner healing today. What does inner healing look like when it leads to stepping out of your comfort zone? Catherine, I just wanted to go ahead and start off with a dynamic quote that I seen on Facebook and everything by Pastor Valina Tyler. She said that maturity is not seeking revenge, but here's the part that I like: it's healing and moving on so you don't become like the people who traumatize you. Know that revenge won't rewrite the past. Heal, move on to your next chapter, and don't let the actions of others define you. Be intentional about forgiveness. It is the antidote that cures the mind, body, and soul. Healing creates a better future for everyone. Healing is what we all need. Blessings. Can I just say that end again? Because that was really inspiring to me and everything, because it said that healing creates a better future for everyone, meaning that our healing today is what creates a better future for everyone. And healing is what we all need. So we're extending blessings to them. Would you just like to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, my name's Catherine Clark, and I'm a bit of a poet, and I like photography. Um, I come from a family of 5, and I'm a twin sister, so I have another one of me, as they say. I am about to be 25, and I've always been told by people around me that I'm more mature for my age. So,
Okay. Well, tell me about twin language and everything.
oh, well, when we were little, we used to have our own little language. So we would walk around the house, and only our mom knew what we were trying to say to each other.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
She said we sounded like aliens. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah, we share some of the same dreams and sometimes like the same thoughts. So like people say that's telekinesis or something.
Uh huh.
So,
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool and everything. Yeah, that is pretty cool and everything. Twin language, huh?
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's, man, jump off into this today. Um, we're here to talk about inner healing, but not just inner healing, but when inner healing, um, when we're trying to have inner healing in our lives and everything, that like when I talked with you and met with you and everything, you told me that it led to stepping out of your comfort zone. What I want to do this morning is I want to just ask you a couple of questions and everything, and you can just, tell us about it, and we'll just do it like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, first question: tell us a little bit about yourself and the work you do. What kind of work do you do?
I like to write, so I would call myself a writer.
Okay. Okay. What kind of stuff do you write?
I do creative writing, a lot of like journaling. Sometimes I will do prompts.
Okay.
Pretty much whatever comes down um, into my thought process, I like to try to jot it down, or maybe I'll post about it, tell a friend, get the message out.
Okay. 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 That sounds awesome and everything. Okay. Well, next question here this morning. What's your definition of inner healing?
It's waking up in the morning and knowing what it is that you want to do. Like
Okay.
what makes you feel free.
What makes you feel free?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I guess we'll. we'll come back to that piece and everything. What makes you free and everything? That's the purpose behind inner healing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's go a little bit further. So, what do you personally need to heal from?
Um, I would say trauma.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Um, so, what led you to this place of needing inner healing? Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Oh yeah. So when I was mm, an adolescent, I was about maybe 12 or 11. I realized how when I was 10, I had to grow up. So when I was 10, it didn't quite hit me. But when I was 11 or 12, I was like, oh man, I'm growing up, you know? Um, so I just didn't really like myself anymore. And I didn't really like the life that I was given. And I had to learn what I'm really actually grateful for. And it's all the little things.
Okay,
And yeah.
okay, okay. Um, i- 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 Is it? Can we probe a little bit deeper into that? Because I know there's probably somebody on there that says, hey, I didn't like myself either. What
Yeah.
parts? You
Um,
feel comfortable talking about those parts?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
I used to feel like other people were picking on me, but it was myself that I was picking on.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So things that I thought people were actually picking on me about, I was like self conscious about. So I thought the way that I spoke, maybe I was laughing too loud or talking too much, not saying the right thing. Maybe I was too happy, you know? Like all these little things that no one put me on a pedestal. I put myself on a pedestal just to like self sabotage my own happiness, my own peace.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sounds a little bit like sounds like to me a little bit of that. Have you ever heard of the term shadow work?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Some of that subconscious stuff that we um, that sometimes we're not always aware of. Uh,
Yeah. Like sometimes you don't know the kind of like weight you're carrying into your backpack. Like when you're like they say in life you either have a boat and you have an anchor and you don't really like ships are supposed to leave the harbor or you
uh-huh.
have like a bag with you and you're like carrying your luggage. Like which
Okay,
one is lighter or which one serves you?
okay. You want to unpack that for me? How that translate into inner healing?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like when I went to college, because after I graduated, I wanted to go try Evergreen State College, and then I learned about this term called vagabond, and those are like poets that they like go traveling and they have like backpacks and they sleep outside and they write. I don't know what purpose it is, but they go out there and they find it in the world. And I've always found that super intriguing because I've always kind of been a person that wants to like run away, but it's weird because I want to face my like get out of my comfort zone, but
Mhm.
I don't want to run away. Like it's a struggle. Like
Okay. Okay. So I hear you talking about that comfort zone again. Like when we first met and everything. That's the part about I was real intrigued with you about and everything. I remember when we first talked in Lowe's and everything. You talked about it being a new year and how you were coming out of your comfort zone.
yeah,
That you were really giving, and expecting the best back in return and everything. And that meant stepping outside of your comfort zone. I thought that was pretty cool because I'm one of those introverts like you and everything. And so it is sometime, when you have to give, you know, you have to step outside of yourself and give with no sometimes really give with no expectation. But the reality was is that you were saying that, you know what, not that type of giving, but giving to a place where I'm going to receive this year back what I'm giving. You know,
Hmm.
there's going to be a reciprocation involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, well, I'm going to ask you another question. Has faith played a part in your inner healing?
Big time. Um, I, growing up, going to public school, I didn't realize how much I wasn't going to like it. And I realized I wanted to maybe do boarding school, you know,
Okay.
but I thought that would have been better for me, but I had to adapt. So, growing up in a small town, a lot of people had a lot of opinions on a lot of things. So, I just wanted to be different, have my own relationship with my own divinity.
Okay.
And through that, I realized when I first started talking to God and what He used to look like to me. And I think it's really interesting that people have this their own image of God, and like that kind of sent me down a rabbit hole. And I tried to ask my mom, like, can you answer this question? And she would say, any question that you have, you ask God, and God will
Okay.
give you an answer.
Okay. Tell me about your mom's faith, because it sounds like she's a. Is she? What is she? What's her faith?
Well, she had a baby, and she was about 23, so a little bit younger than me, and she became a widow, and then she met my dad, and it was very like their paths just crossed, and they met each other, and they both had that feeling of like destiny. And they were just drawn to each other,
Okay.
and I've never heard of a love story like that. I've only seen it in the movies, but
Uh-huh.
the first time she told me, I could like see it and everything, and yeah, but her faith, she's always told me to like not be scared, to know that like anything in life, God put me there for a reason,
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like you come from a household of faith. What is that? Does that translate into? Do you and your family, your parents, do you attend a church or anything of that nature?
when we were younger, my mom thought it would be really sweet for her family to go to church, and yeah, we wanted to make our mom happy, so we would go. And then when we stopped going, it made her really sad, and yeah, we would show up to church and she would be really happy. So it was kind of like a polar of opposites.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about that polar of opposites and everything. What is? I mean, what does that look like?
You go somewhere and it's so nice and light and you feel welcomed. And then when you go home, it's like not like that, but you try to bring that feeling with you.
Okay.
You, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes the house that you live in has very negative energy, and when you get away from it for a little bit and you are with family, you can bring that peace with you. It's about how you enter in the space. I, I
Okay.
think I think there was a lesson that she was teaching us there. I'm pretty sure. Like she never really spoke on it, but her presence when we were in church, you could just tell how happy she was. She,
Okay. Okay.
she really
Okay.
loved it.
So you're discerning and spiritual, and so you really hone in on uh, 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 the spiritual aspect of it. You know that when I go to the house of the Lord and everything, I'm caught up in His glory and everything. But then sometime when I go home and everything, there's that energy and everything that it doesn't feel the same way and everything. So have you figured out how to bring the glory of God into the home?
Make an altar. that was a suggestion someone gave to me, and I like to believe in like the Greek gods. Sometimes humans used to look up to the Greek gods at one point. So I just like the symbolism there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and so they make like some people will make an altar, and they'll make an offering, and it's not like a sacrifice, but it's more like peace offering.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So yeah, like if you like to think about it, there are angels that are fighting our wars, and I've always thought of it as that way, like angels.
Okay.
And when you make an offering, you're what I feel like what you're giving is really important. It's the intention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. Let's go ahead and go to the next question. How has stepping out of your comfort zone led to inner healing?
I'm always recognized like far better by another person's perspective of me than I am of my own self. So when someone is like, "What are you doing here?" and I'm just like, and I give an answer, and they're like, "You kind of just blew me away with your answer," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You have strength. You showed up here. Like, bravo." I'm like,
Right. Right. Like, okay, huh? Yeah. So it sounds like what you can. It sounds like what I'm hearing is that you said that it takes strength to step out of your comfort zone.
"Oh yeah." It's
Yeah.
like putting on your like taking off a layer of baggage in your suit of armor, and you're like, "Here's a flower," you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, here's another one. What are the steps towards inner healing and recovery? What has that been like for you? What's that process? If we were to say to boil it down to like three steps, what are those steps for you?
Being okay with being alone.
Okay, that's step one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's step two?
Um, really going outside and being in nature, like embracing nature.
Okay, okay. So being by yourself and then going in nature, and then what's the third one?
Working hard.
Working hard and everything. So that what do you mean like working, or do you mean like working on self?
Like sometimes you go to work to not think about yourself or your
Okay.
problems.
Uh huh.
And sometimes when you're not working, you want to work on yourself, but you also still want to be distracted. You know, you feel like you worked all day, so you deserve to be distracted.
Okay. Right. And
Yeah,
not dive deeper into those thoughts and
yeah.
everything.
But
Okay.
really, that's like putting yourself into, like I've always heard people say like, "What if this is purgatory?" You know, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
no, this could be heaven on earth, guys. Like this really could be the real deal. Like this is, like we will pass on, and you know it will be better than we've ever known here, but
Okay.
what we have is the present.
That's right. What we have
Yeah,
is today, huh?
yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. Um, I like your process. I liked how you talked about isolation and really um, tapping into yourself, as an introvert and everything. I'm always prone to go towards isolation. you know,
Mm-hmm.
I told you a little bit
Same.
about me being an introvert and everything. I mean, me, it's ebooks. I mean, if it's like if I've got company around me, I will try to find some excuse to go in my room and just be me.
Uh-huh.
I will make sure they're okay and everything, but then I'll, at some point, you know, at that point in time, it's like, isolation and everything. And so I've been getting better at that, on my journey and everything, with not isolating and giving people's my attention. Um, Also like nature. I feel like nature brings in that peace and everything. I like trees and plants and things of that, you know, you can just vibe with them and, you can just like, man, just, marvel at creation and everything. And then you talked about, working and everything. Well, I would have to really honestly say, working, I see where you're coming from and everything because, you need time to, go to work and, be productive and everything, but, not think about, that inner part that you're trying to heal and everything. Because sometimes I feel like, you can get trapped in that and not come out of it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They say like time is the best thing to heal. Time heals all wounds.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, Next question. Can you share a personal experience of inner healing that had a profound impact on you?
Forgiveness.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you have to forgive?
I mean, sometimes I have to forgive myself like every day.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I'm always my own worst critic, so that part of me is like, my ego. That I'm like, whoa there, you know,
Right.
we've done a lot, you know. It's okay. It's not like you are perfect just as you are. How
Uh,
you are is perfect.
That's right. That's right. I totally agree with you. That's something I've had to embrace in my life that, um, hey, man, God loves me today just who I am, even with imperfections.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um, well, how do you navigate and overcome emotional challenges on your journey of inner healing? How
This
have
is
you? Uh huh.
this is a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard this expression like have the surfer's philosophy. They ride the wave. They don't know when a good one's coming. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've always been like ride the wave, go with the flow, be like water. I've I'm really big on feeling connected with people, like having unity and always coming from a place of like love. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I get that. That's I wouldn't say the surfer.
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking when you talk about the surfer and everything. I don't know if you've ever heard, man, of the eagle and everything.
Yeah.
The eagle, they do similar. They don't ride the wave, but they when there's
Yeah.
turbulence in the air, they soar above it, and that's why they're so powerful and everything.
Oh.
I totally like them. Because it's like that's cool. It's like you think about other birds, they can't they can't deal with turbulence and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But here it is, this eagle and everything, man. It's like, oh, okay. Well, here's a chance for me to rise higher and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how I
They
navigate and overcome
they
stuff.
can get in the water too. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yep.
insane that um they really battle the elements out there.
Yeah, well, they've got vision. They've got
Yeah.
the that long wingspan, and then their claws and everything. So they know how to swoop down and everything, and get their salmon and and lift back up,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
rise to those heights and everything. Yeah, because hey, if they drop their prey and everything, it's done for them. So
Yes.
yeah, yep. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing how you navigate and overcome emotional challenges by man, just, hey, like a surfer, ride those waves. Um, our next question is in your opinion, how does self compassion contribute to the process of inner healing?
Self compassion to me meant loving my mom a lot more than I knew how.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, loving her essentially is loving myself because I am her and she is me because I'm her daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer. Good answer. I love that answer.
Thank you.
All right. Um, can you discuss and tell everybody the importance of addressing past traumas for inner healing? How important is that?
Mm. Loving myself when I was going through the motions of the experience and learning how to detach myself from those experiences through love. I had to go back in time. I had to time travel to myself and give myself a hug and just console that, you know.
Okay. I love that, man. You're like, hey, man, let me travel to that place where it hurt at and, man, give myself a hug and everything. And,
Yeah, a little kiss on the forehead, a little brush of the hair, whatever I needed.
that's right. That's right. I think I was reading somewhere in that shadow work book and everything, um, that it's about understanding, what did I need in that situation that I didn't get?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was reading that today and everything when I was trying to, you know, um, come on here and sound knowledgeable about inner healing.
Love it.
Yeah, man. Um, how does the mind and body connection influence our ability to achieve inner healing?
This is so important right here. So,
Oh,
like, I did yoga, I
uh-huh.
did deep breathing, I did meditation, and I did prayer. And I loved to dedicate time to each one of those things in my hobbies. And I still realized I wasn't healing the way I thought I should be healing. And then I started to really work on my body, connecting to my mind, to my spirit. And that was like a whole nother like it was a whole new level of healing that grew me um into like being like a tree, like a plant, a seed. Like,
Ah, okay. All right. Tell me about that tree thing. I'm into trees.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um so like all right, so I went to fashion school when I was in high school, and the teacher asked us to, um, like, get creative with textures. And I tried to say leaves were a texture, bark was a texture, grass was a texture, and moss. And she's like, no, no, not these ones. Like, you can't do these ones. And I was like, can I tell you why I like these? And she's like, no, we're gonna move on. And she got to know me later on in class, and then I think I like waited the last day to like tell her like what it meant. And I was like, it was the tree of life, like I'm really big into trees and like growing roots and stuff, but I've never been in the place to like plant my roots. But I learned how to transplant, you know. But I want to be a willow tree. I want to be big and strong and take anything on, and like maybe have a tree fort in there someday.
Uh-huh. You said a willow tree?
Yeah,
Okay, so not just any old kind of tree, but a willow tree, huh?
yeah.
Okay,
But
so
like I could be like any tree, but I really like willow trees.
okay, I'm trying to look one up and everything so I can see what this
Yeah.
willow tree is. So what about the willow tree?
They can bloom flowers. They
Okay.
can they can make pink flowers, but like they will only do it like once in the tree's lifetime or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't even know how they start blooming flowers.
Okay. Okay. And so that's what you like about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they can transform themselves. A tree.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Grows flowers once. Okay. All right. I guess, man, I don't know, since you really said, hey, I would have to like say if I had to be a tree and everything, I would probably be, what's the one that grows real tall and everything? I think the redwood.
The redwood tree, but there's even a
Is
bigger tree. There's a bigger tree that takes up like, you know, like a whole size of, I don't know, like a city. and they're all connected, and it's all like one big tree. Have you heard about that tree?
Uh-uh. Yes.
It's
No, it's
crazy.
not the. Oh, okay.
But yeah, you're talking about a sequoia tree.
Thought redwoods were pretty
Yeah,
tall.
they are, and they can
Okay.
live for a really long time. Sorry, I know a lot about
Oh,
trees,
okay. Here it is.
so
It says that Hyperion is a coast redwood.
mm,
Ah, see, this the highest one. See,
mm,
redwood. Okay. It says in California that is the world's tallest known living tree. It is
mm,
380 feet tall.
mm.
Okay. And it was okay. And it was discovered August 25th, 2006 by Chris Atkins and Michael Taylor.
Cool.
Right. Okay. It's the tallest one. Okay. Yep. And it is in Redwood National Park in California. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to be one of those if I was a tree and everything. Reason I talk a lot about trees and everything is like I told you, I'm a pastor and everything in my ministry and everything. And we're always talking about trees. Um, I think they're really symbolic, that I mean, you can see they go through some of the same stages that we go through. Yeah. Okay.
they do. They're a lot like people.
Yep. Right. Let me see here. Let me see what question we were adding. Do you feel that there are any? Here's a bit. This a little bit different kind of question, but do you feel there are any misconceptions about inner healing that you would like to address on this
Mm.
podcast?
Yeah, they this is coming from a weird place, and I don't know how well people might take it. Um, in like modern medicine, like they have gotten better, obviously, but like 100 years ago, they thought it was a good idea to like cut you open and let you bleed to get rid of the disease. And in like native culture, or some of it, they would think that it was how you would get rid of like bad demons or negative, like negativity. Um, and I used to self harm as a way of coping, and I say that because I don't do it anymore. And I when I bring up this subject, it's really to just bring up, um, it's okay to acknowledge your past with how you were hurting yourself, whether it was like physical, mental,
That's right. That's
emotional.
right. That's right.
It's okay to acknowledge what you did and to help yourself to move on through healing. And I'm not saying like hurting yourself was a bad idea, because it probably helped you in that time, to numb yourself, or it's just something that humans will do. They will like hurt themselves, and not intentionally. I don't know why, but it's okay to acknowledge that and to like make sure you don't do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that. What strategies or techniques do you find most effective in promoting inner healing? If somebody was looking on here, but and they were saying like, I'm trying to incorporate some things, into my life.
Yeah.
What strategies or techniques?
Um, One therapist gave me this strategy. He was like, you could try to put yourself through hypnosis, but if you are not trusting of yourself, like there's easier steps in that, and it's like all of the elements. So you can go like take a shower, wash your hands after dealing with like a customer, or with like a what I call a sticky situation, where it's like, okay, that was close. I almost like blew a gasket, but when I wash my hands and I come back, I'm not gonna, you know, blow up. I'm gonna be okay, because
Okay.
I just like wash it away. You can light a candle. You can sit by a fire. Like there's a lot of science behind sitting next to a fire and that red light, what it will do to heal you, and it'll pass through your skin into your cells and rejuvenate your cells. You can go step outside, breathe in the air. Like air is always good for our lungs, and to hug a tree, you know, to be grounded. Pick up some dirt, touch a rock. If you touch a leaf, all of that like light energy that's been in the sun all day transfers it over to you. All that UV, all that good energy.
Okay.
There's a lot of little things you can do that humans will forget about because we're not connected to our body sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that it's just about really connecting to good energy,
Yeah.
real good energy, connecting things that got a good vibe and everything, or
Yeah.
connecting to nature and pulling that energy in our inner being and everything to
Yeah.
heal us. Is that correct?
I like to call it source.
Okay. Source.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to the source. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Um, are there are there any specific podcasts or resources that you recommend for someone seeking inner healing?
Okay, so I used to do podcasts on like investigations, like people doing like what I used to think was God's work, like trying to find that person that like kidnapped my daughter or you know. But then I was like, I'm not big on revenge, and I don't like that. So I took a break from podcasts, and then I found one that I really liked, and it's called Back from the Borderline, and it's a big emphasis on like mental health and like inner child wounds and how
Okay.
to be your own parent, like your mother and your father.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, well, we're coming to the end of this. I've got about two more questions left and everything. Man, you're doing awesome today. Thanks for sharing. Um, what advice do you have for listeners who are beginning their journey towards inner healing? What would you want them to understand?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, as much as you can connect to your inner child, if you like to play like specific songs that remind you of your childhood, like, play it. If you like to play music because you used to do it when you were younger, like, you should definitely go back into playing an instrument. And, like, I don't know, I'm really big into my learning style. So, however you like to learn and whatever it is that you want to learn, like, you should do it for your inner child. Whatever you wanted to do as a kid, you should try your best to pursue it to fulfill that little kid's dreams.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm all about talking about greatness that lies within us and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, my last question tonight well, I should say this morning, what makes you great?
The fact that I know I am like a being of light, like we all come from stardust, essentially. Like we are the cosmos. So I've always thought of myself as more than just a human being. Like I am a light energy. Like I come here to bring hope, to be a beacon of light, and I tell myself that, and
Okay.
I give myself affirmations so I don't forget.
Okay. All right.
All those little things, all those little things, those little interactions, like they all will lead to something big.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad. I love what you just said there in closing today. You said those small things lead to big things, and truly they do. It's the small things, noticing people, even when we're at Lowe's and everything, is, hey, small things, we don't pay attention to those small details, and just noticing people that are in our presence and everything, and valuing people and letting them know that man, they've got value in everything, you know. And so yeah, I thank you today for man, really being courageous and coming on this podcast and everything, and really talking really talking about inner healing, and inner healing that leads to stepping out of your comfort zone and everything, being courageous and everything, and just sharing with us your techniques and everything, you
Yeah,
know. I truly think, hey, from meeting you in Lowe's and everything, that hearing your testimony about inner healing was so inspiring,
thank you.
and it makes me want to continue on my journey of inner healing, you know.
Thank you.
And so I want to thank you for coming on here and everything. Is there any last thing that you want to tell everybody, or give a shout out or something, or anything of that nature?
Yes.
Okay.
I always like to shout out my skateboard and my snowboard for helping me fly.
All right. Okay. All right, man. For helping you
Seriously,
fly, huh?
I dream about my skateboard and my snowboard, and I was injured. It my injury, I'm gonna bounce back. Like, I've had a few close calls on a few different things, but like, I'm never gonna stop skateboarding or snowboarding. I might take it easier, but I'm still gonna transcend.
Okay. All right, man. I can't say, man. I think I've only been snowboarding once. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, man. I'm gonna have to get with that though.
It's
You
so
say you
hard,
flying,
but
huh?
it's so rewarding. It's so awesome.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. All right. Well, everybody, we want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Seed. We hope that this has been, man, just healing for you. This year, I know there's a lot of people, man, out there that are seeking inner healing and looking to dive into healing from whatever it is that they're going through and everything. And so we hope that this has been healing to you. So have a awesome morning, and man, just keep on healing.